pre-COVID then. And I told him that if you allow me, I really want to come to this meeting because I met Asterousia last year through my team in Cyprus, which they attended this 3 weeks course. From their feedback and comments, they told me that they gained a lot of experiences. And of course, I have to say something and don't consider this as a compliment for Michael. It's not just a good friend, it's a mentor for me. I met him in 2004 in the high-level meeting in Vilnius when was established the UNECE ESD steering committee. And since then, Michael is everywhere, not because he wants to be in everywhere, but the rest of the people want Michael. So he led many of the initiatives, you know this better, for ESD, not in the region, I mean in the Mediterranean or in the Middle East, but I think he's a global person. And I just wanted to note this because it's very important to acknowledge publicly people that they were the flagships for ESD internationally, and Michael is one of them. So I wanted a lot to be here with you, and mainly because I wanted to interact with you all, with all of you, and secondly because when Michael told me that the key issue of this meeting of Asterousia was about marine litter, I told him that with Crete, before 2 years, we completed a whole educational package which was funded by the Erasmus Key Action Video program with the title Sea for All. The partner, the coordinator in this project was the fourth neck in Crete here. And we participated in this project with other 4 countries, Romania, UK, Cyprus and Greece of course. And the aim of this project was mainly, those are the partners, is the Foundation for Research Technology here in Crete, the Directorate of Crete, University of Cyprus, Cardiff, ARAT, School Inspectorate from Romania, Archipelagos Institute and Cyprus Pedagogical Institute. The main idea behind this project was to enhance the marine culture and integrate the marine issues in all the educational levels by providing a concrete educational tool that will cover marine issues through various perspectives, I mean ecological, social, economical, cultural, and of course to motivate and provide also professional development course that will enable the teachers in order to work more effectively with marine issues in school, in formal education and in non-formal educational context. And this became as a necessity and as a critical issue since we realized that, for example, in Cyprus we are an Icelandic country, but the majority of the people are behaving like they live in Central Europe. And I'm just saying this because there is a very big gap to live in an island and you don't have a culture of an islander, or you don't have a culture of how to protect marine. So that's why we participated at Cyprus in this project, and finally realized that there is a big gap regarding the various tools which related with 1 not at all till 5 very much. The majority of the people, they're giving the answer 2 little. Or in what level have you been involved in marine education issues? We can see again that it's not at all or little. Means that there is a very big gap and lag. Or to what extent have you taught marine issues in your class, you can see that the majority of the teachers, and it's not, little, all moderate, it's not at all what is coming first. And which of the following themes do you consider most important for complementary educational material on marine issues? We classified some issues which related with marine issues, but you can see that mainly they worked with solid waste, with microplastics, with coastal environmental and coastal pollution issues, and climate change and impact marine issues. To what extent the teachers think that those obstacles, we identified some obstacles to work with marine educational tools. Of course, you can see that and the insufficient knowledge of the marine issues topics, and the lack of teacher education, and the overloaded school program, and other responsibilities. I mean, everything we include, lack of flexibility of the school educational program, were considered as problems. And finally, what do they expect that will help them to work with marine issues in school? You can see that they indicated the workshops and formal and non-formal education activities. They need to have lessons regarding the practical implementation of marine issues, the outdoor and seminars, and of course focus on specific tools on marine education. The intellectual outputs of this work related includes 5 different deliverables. First was the creation of a training curriculum for marine pollution. Second were the technological developments in marine pollution, creation of an e-learning platform, ICT Based Learning Game, and Pedagogical Handbook. This is the website of the project, where it's translated in 3 languages, English, Romanian, and Greek. And you can find all the tools in this website, and the handbook, and the professional development course, and the tool and handbook for teachers, or how to educate teachers. Regarding the training curriculum guide on marine pollution and protection, which is prepared by the unit by Cyprus, is divided this curriculum, this guide, in 5 modules: teaching competences, teaching methods, scientific content knowledge, marine pollution theoretical framework, and thematic examples. Each one of them, and I will explain to you. The second deliverable was the technological development in marine pollution. What we did here, we collect scientific data, meteorological, Oceanographic, geomorphological, and those we use it in order to create the learning scenarios that supported the preparation of the tools. We had also created an e-learning platform based on the SDGs and marine pollution, which includes various interactive learning and games for students about marine issues. It's this one. And the 5th deliverable is this handbook for students and teachers. This toolkit includes 10 handbooks, which elaborate the marine through various aspects. Sea and culture, the main concepts behind the sea, the treasure of the sea, the spill oil, plastics, coastal pollution, recycle, marine recycle, health security and the sea, the balance of marine ecosystems, marine and sustainable development, and some other indicative more examples. This is a very practical tool, and also is in the website. And this handbook is based on the theoretical framework behind the activities that has been developed. And of course, the activities based on the basic methodology and pedagogy of education for sustainable development. Regarding now the training curriculum, because we consider that it was really important because I will speak from our side, my side in Cyprus, and as the head of the unit of education for sustainable development, which is the responsible, is the national unit in Cyprus for integrating ESD, informal, non-formal, and the informal level. What is missing are efficient, flexible, and competent-based professional development courses. Especially in marine education, there is a big insufficiency. So, using the 17, the SDGs, and trying to harmonize with the requirements of quality education, we try to develop this training tool, which took us in the try to appear the importance of marine issues, to close this gap, minimize this gap of teachers that they feel incompetent to work with marine issues, and provide some ideas and give practical examples on how to integrate marine issues in their school practice. This is the 5 modules, very quickly. The first module is based on teaching competences, where it is a competence-based professional development course, and is for a whole year, and is applied in formal and non-formal context. I mean, in the school, but also in the course, in the environmental education courses that apply marine issues. So this is based on, is explaining the theory behind competences, and we used, as more familiar to us, the RSP competence model, which is based on 12 ESD competences, which is the elaboration of the UNECE ESD competence framework. The second module is analyzing the main environmental and sustainable development techniques. Is similar to what Vicky explained before: brainstorming, concept maps, debate, role-playing, ethical dilemmas, field study, modeling, web guest, and bibliography research. And each technique, for example, brainstorming is based on thematic of marine pollution, debate on seafood safety, role-play building a new desalination plant in town, ethical dilemma, Mr. Jones' dilemma about redirecting his hotels into the sea, field study of microplastics, web guest example regarding ocean, bibliographic research, oil spill pollution in the Mediterranean. Module 3 is based to give and to explain the 6 learning scenarios that we developed this tool, which is based on the specific scientific knowledge. So we are giving the scientific knowledge, for example, what is marine pollution, what is microplastics, and all this. I'm moving fastly, and we developed in this curricula 5 learning scenarios, means 5 chapters, training chapters based in case studies. One case study from Romania, UK, Cyprus, and 2 learning scenarios from Greece, from Samos, and from Thermite Gulf. Each activities for teachers' professional development courses is developed according to these schemes, such as the duration, techniques, materials, aim of activity, underpinning components, which are the learning outcomes, what we expect from these activities, from the teachers to learn, what competences we pursue to acquire, description, the methodology on how to apply it, and references. This is the example of Romania, which is based on the accident to Danube Delta. And based on this learning scenario, I developed the learning objectives. I will not read it to you. Just I'm showing you the sequence of this. The learning objectives and the activities that develop regarding the learning scenario of Romania. This is the case study, the learning scenario from Cyprus, which is based on the Cape Greco and its importance, its dangers that are facing because of the tourism and the need to be in the Natura 2000 site. The activities that develop, which are based on hands-on activities. It's the scenario from Samos and the increasingly marine littering from migration. This was a really very interesting scenario that developed. And of course, all these scenarios are based on specific research data that collected from the Net and from the Oceanographic Research Center in Cyprus. So the importance of these learning scenarios was the marine littering, Samos, high environmental significance area and touristic activity, point of access very close to the coast means for migration, litter identity, fragments, plastic and other litter, plastic cups, pens, food, important species that they are living in these areas, but the activities that developed has to do for the people, for the teachers to understand how the migration can contribute or increasing the littering in the Mediterranean Sea and the consequences of littering of the Mediterranean locally, nationally and regionally. Those are some of the concept maps. And this is the scenario from the Thermite Gulf, which has to do with the drifting fishing nets near Thessaloniki in the Thermite Gulf. The species that are endangered, activities that developed for teachers in this curricula is the invisible threat, modeling discussion, the ghostness problem, Ghostbusters, which is brainstorm discussion, the ghostness problem is bibliographic research, and webcast and discussion also activities. And I think here I finished, and I don't know how much time.
Thank you.